Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, kings, queens, peasants, and pussy poppers. It's your boy Cliff the Gift, slanging that wood, not that stick. Your man might keep it 100, but you see me, I'm gonna give you that extra inch. And I'm here with my guy and my two girls in this motherfucking and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. We're gonna go ladies first.
Ladies first,
okay.
you know.
Starting to the far of the room.
All right. My name is Brooke, and I'm here with my honey bunny, Tori, also known as T Rich. Mm-hmm. Thank you for having me.
Oh, come on. It's a pleasure to have you on. You know, it's all my pleasure.
You're so cute.
And next to me, we got a recurring star that, you know, come through for us. You know what I'm saying?
Hi, it's Jazi J. Jazzy _ Thug Life. And you know what? I forgot to make a freaking tagline. I said last time.
Yeah,
she did.
So I'm just going to say always pretty, always thuggish.
All right.
That's good. Yeah, I like that one.
So
get that pretty thuggish clothing too.
Oh yeah, make sure y'all cop that. Y'all see it's fresh.
That is cute.
You know.
Thank you.
But once again, goddamn it, he is I am him. It's your boy T Rich. You funky dog head bitch. Once again, doing it again. You know, we got two ladies on for this edition of Cliff Notes Radio. We getting ready to talk some more shit, but you know, getting that feminine touch in the show. You know, in the atmosphere. You know.
It's just been something that's been bothering me lately, and I definitely wanted to have two women on the show to chime in on this subject because I feel like it would have been wrong to not, you know, and do it the way that we normally do it with just, you know, just male energy up here talking shit. But Ice Cube, we had talked about it a little bit last week, and I said that we was gonna have some females on the show this week. He had this interview with the Cocktail Queens, and they asked him where was his part for black women in his contract. Like, they didn't have a specific part for them. And in my opinion, I could be wrong. But I was like, you know, I think that it dilutes the water when we say that, because I feel like Ice Cube was including all black people, period. Right. So when he says that, he's not excluding black women. So when you try to say, well, why when we gonna have this part, it's like now you diluting it a little bit more to say, well, we can give some more leeway and you know, and just accommodating.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh well, nah, we rather accommodate the women. Who, like, you can pick a party instead of saying, now we want to accommodate y'all.
Right.
So do y'all feel like Ice Cube should have a part in there particularly for women, or do y'all feel like it was justified in what he said?
Can I go? Because
that's what I want you to say. Okay. That's why I said I want you to go first. That's why I'm looking at you.
You know, when we talked originally, you asked me to be on the show, and you told me, you know, to watch the video and stuff. I went in about the video, just like had a whole different, just like thought about it. I was expecting something else. And then when I watched it, I felt like I kind of was siding with Ice Cube and, you know, his agenda. I thought I was going to be like, yeah, let's, you know, black women, you know, definitely have a part in there, you know, for black women. But their approach and their presentation it was hard for me to get into that. It felt like they were being very aggressive. It felt like they were coming in with maybe like their own agenda. I'm not exactly sure. But when he said that he was trying to create, you know, something for Black America, I felt like it did include black women. And of course, you know, black women, we should have a choice and we should have voice. And he even said, like, well, you know, don't talk about it. Collaborate with me. If you guys want to have something specific for you, then be a part of the process. And it didn't seem like they were trying to like provide any feedback on that. They just kind of wanted to complain and not be a part of the solution.
Complain.
How you feel, Jazz?
I didn't watch it.
Well, how do you feel?
I was watching a little bit.
Wow.
You know, we was talking about it earlier, so I'm like, oh, let me catch up.
Well, but how do you feel?
It was just too much. Even in the little bit that I saw, the women came off weird. You know what I mean? And I remember I asked you, I was like, did she just ask a question? Because it seemed like she was saying a paragraph. So why are you coming with that type of energy?
I think she caught it kind of like you gave it to her at a point where it's like a normal person will be like, oh no, I don't want to see this right here.
Yeah.
Because if she would have seen the whole dialogue, she would have been like, okay, she would have understood how it got to that point.
Yeah.
But but not to cut you off.
Oh no,
go
you
ahead.
good, you good.
Well, I mean, Tori, how do you feel in just saying, like, you know, you got your lady, right? When you make decisions, or if you, when y'all together, you want to make decisions. You make decisions when you making decisions as a black person. Do you feel like your girl is included in the decisions that you make, or do you feel like you have to say, "Well, I'm making this. I'm making."
I would say a good portion of the decisions that I make, or they include her. I kind of want her input on certain things. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like as an individual, there are certain things I want to do for myself, and there are certain times I want to be places, certain times I want to get up, certain times I want to do this and this and that. But I know when you're with somebody, or just even when you're in like a partnership with somebody, like if you guys have a business or you're shooting videos, it's like you do cinematography. If you working with somebody, you need some help. You know, you're gonna lay your terms out like, hey, I'm gonna need this and this and that. We're gonna get rolling at this time. I'm gonna need you to do this. You know, there has to be like a tacit agreement amongst you guys to where it all goes towards, you know, that cumulative effort of achieving the goal. So I don't look at, and now that we're talking about the video, it's like I don't think Cube was trying to exclude them. It was more so like he wants input because he doesn't know how to speak for y'all. You know? So that's really what it came down to.
I feel, and I want to make a huge point. I feel like in our society, like our minds have been warped in certain stances from looking at how other people deal with they cultures and situations. It's like, but I don't feel like Caucasian men and Caucasian women struggle together in a sense for the things that they wanted. You know what I mean? But see, black men and black women struggled together for the things that they wanted. Yeah. And I feel like when you try to say, like, that's why I don't think Ice Cube even thought about it in the sense of saying, I need to include black women, because you should already feel included because we already been in this struggle together. You see what I mean? And when you, like I said, it's diluting the situation when you're using somebody else's vision to see your problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, that's why I'm like, them looking at it from that angle, it kind of upset me in a way, like, y'all shooting down a man's idea. This is not like, a lot of people always point out problems, but very few have solutions.
Yes.
Yeah. And for them to just try to shoot it down because you didn't feel included when you, why are you in a rush to feel excluded?
Yes.
Yeah, because
he's talking to you about it.
And that's one thing, like, I feel like Vivica was probably one of the most outwardly expressive people during that whole dialogue. And, you know, it was parts during that whole thing where I was just like, okay, so what solution is she finna? Obviously, she finna offer a solution because she's overly emotional about this, and she's yelling and she's doing all of that. And I'm like, okay, so what is she finna offer? She didn't offer anything. So I'm just kind of like, I commend Q for like keeping his composure, because it could have turned into some real nigga shit. Like, and what started out respectful was about to end in another example of black men and women arguing, being opposites of each other, you know? And it's like, that's what we don't need right now, especially at a time where we're trying to really achieve some shit.
Right.
And I feel like they just totally dismissed his efforts. Like, who else is stepping up and trying to have meetings with both, you know, sides of, you know, the political system and trying to have a conversation and trying to create an agenda for black people? Who else is really like doing that? And it just felt like, and I hate to say this, but I felt like they were being like the typical black woman that people like to, you know, put a label on, like that attitude and the aggression. And I feel like the conversation could have been much more productive. And like you said, providing solutions and not just sitting there just like, well, what are you doing? And why are you not including me? There could have been a more productive conversation. Like, they could have been more collaborative.
They really just wanted to see what was his whole position on, why are you doing this with Trump?
Trump.
Yeah.
That was really what it was.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like at first I was kind of like, damn, Cube, but like me knowing Cube, I'm thinking to myself, it's just like the Jay-Z situation.
Yeah.
I think I said this last week.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
knowing how they move, I'm thinking to myself like, all right, let me wait a little bit. Let me see what the fuck is really going on before I even get on the internet and be like, oh, here goes some more coons, doing all of it. Yeah, like I gotta really see how Cube is moving, because at this point, we really just putting our blind faith in politicians. Mm-hmm. It's like Cube is actually out trying to do the work.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much where I was at with it.
But
Yeah.
I feel like also too, those women, they were getting to it. Well, I don't want to say that they were, because I don't want to put words in their mouth, but a reason why that type of attitude happens a lot of times is because I've heard the thing that black women don't feel protected by black men. Mm-hmm. So they have to speak up to even be seen and accounted for.
Yeah.
And that's why they would come with that thing. How do y'all feel about being protected by black men?
I feel like the way you say something is just a big part of the conversation. Their whole presentation was just way too aggressive for me. It could have been much more assertive and much more productive. And they could have just said, well, we want to be protected too. They didn't have to attack him. And that's what it felt like.
Yeah. I think there has to be a level of tact that you use in a setting like that. Mm-hmm. And I think that tact was abandoned. I'm not going to say all the ladies.
No.
Not all the ladies, because I feel like a couple of them was sitting there and was trying to hear him out. But it was a couple that was like kind of pressing the issue like, well, what about us? You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. Because I feel like over time it has been a silence of black women. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like more so nowadays, black women are we like, no, fuck that. Y'all gonna hear us. It don't matter how you hear us. Mm-hmm. We gonna say it how we say it, and you just gonna have to deal with it. And I feel like that's I have no problems with that. But at the same time, when we speaking amongst each other, we gotta understand, like, we gotta check emotion at the door. Yeah. Especially when we trying to get some shit done. Like, no, we gotta, okay, you got a gripe, let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. If you have a problem with what I said or something I did, let's discuss it, and then I'll make changes and think about that as I'm going forward. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you're an employee under me, if you don't like stuff that I'm doing, how I'm moving, or you don't like how things is going, let me know. So that way I can move around and I can alter shit so that everybody can. You don't have to dread coming to work. You don't have to dread working with this person.
See, this is the court of public opinion. And I feel like, when it comes to that court of public opinion, nobody's really in charge. Mm-hmm. So everybody, it's like it's a free fall for that power anyway. Right. Don't nobody want to listen to nobody. Like, your opinion don't really matter. Like, who the fuck are you? How you gonna tell me something anyway?
Well, we gotta understand that's counterproductive.
Yeah,
very.
Yeah, but that's the attitude, and that's the attitude that we see here with everybody. Like, that's what they inspire you to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's the people who make it in America, low key. Mm-hmm. The people who say fuck the system.
Yeah.
Right.
I would just hope that they looked back on that interview and was like, dang, we could have did something different. I don't know if they went in wanting to be aggressive and maybe that was the intent. But they could have been working together. They could have been creating a plan right then and there. The interview could have been about that.
I think, that's the thing. We only got but that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're doing
30.
Once the cameras go off.
It was 30.
I was like,
that's the thing.
Like 30 minutes.
A bulk of what was discussed. A bulk of what was discussed was mainly like that important 15 minutes of black people trying to come together and figure out what can we do, And honestly, we don't know what's going on after the cameras go off. Right. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Ice Cube communicates with at least a couple of those women, on a personal, definitely Lisa Ray.
Yeah.
So it's, like I said, we don't know a whole lot. Like, I had no idea that Ice Cube, that whole process for putting together that contract had been months in the making. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea about that.
I did. Yeah.
So like I said, it really just comes down to what we know and then what they allow us to know. You know what I'm saying? Because really the only thing that we opinionated about is what we know so far.
And a lot of people was like, well, why are you causing that speculation by meeting with Trump this close to an election? You know what I'm saying? Causing people to pick sides. So, but
because this is one of the most historic elections ever.
And that's why I say let's step to another. Let me just step to another thing, I want to talk about like Lil Wayne met with Donald Trump today. How do y'all feel about the celebrities stepping out right now, and just endorsing, basically giving their hand to Donald Trump and saying like, yeah, this who I'm voting for.
Right.
How do y'all feel about that right now? Jazz, how you feel?
Like the motherfuckers. It's like, cause you feel they make music, and they're entertaining us, and we feel kind of like collected, like we together, and then they do shit like that. It's like, nah, we ain't the same, So that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like they lose me a little bit. Like, I thought you was cool, but I don't know no more. You know what I mean? So yeah.
What about you, Brooke?
I think it's hard, especially right now, to figure out what is real, what's genuine, what is being done with good intent. And, I think celebrities are trying to use their platform for good. I think that they are trying to use their spotlight to bring awareness to certain things, but everything is skeptical right now.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
And so the communication piece is really important. Like, share your intent behind that meeting.
Exactly.
Share your intent behind these, conferences or this contract or whatever.
Definitely.
Like,
It's not hard to do these days.
talk
you
about
tweet
it.
everything else.
You tweet everything.
Tell us
You post everything.
And that's one thing I got to give Ice Cube his props on, because, like I said last week, like I feel like his intent was good. It just wasn't well received by people. You know what I'm saying? It's just like with the Kaepernick thing. Like, I felt like Jay's intentions were good. I just know a lot of people ain't gonna be feeling that shit at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because especially the way you say things and the way you deliver things. Like, sometimes, like, when you feel like, okay, I'm a celebrity, I've been on for 15, 20 some odd years, I got enough influence, I can say things how I want to say them, and
Without explaining myself,
and I can care less how people gonna react. But it's some people, when they feel that, they just like, nah, bro. Like, no, you gotta let us know how you really feeling, and you gotta tell us the reason why you're doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because we've invested so much time and so much, like, if I go to your concerts and I go to your movies or I buy your products or whatever, it's like I'm gonna feel like I'm a part of your whole process of becoming who you are. So I feel like I'm deserving at least a little bit of an explanation. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you see activists and like Dr. Umar, for a good example, with the school and everything. Like, half of the country was like, okay, that's good shit. Black economics. We're going to teach our kids. We're going to unlearn this bullshit, relearn the new shit. And then half the other people was like, nah, nigga, hell no. Like, I'm not finna send my kids to go to your school and be a resident, because he wanted to be a residential school, and like he was like,
stay
hell,
there,
like, hell no, I ain't finna send my kids up here to learn all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And he collected money, so it's like I understand his motive behind it. I understand why he wanted to do it. I felt like he had good intent, but at the same time, that shit is kind of extreme for some people. So when you see one of our big stars going to the said quote unquote enemy, you know what I'm saying? One of the most radically racist motherfuckers we've ever seen. It just comes off a little weird. It's like, what? No, that's a little extreme. Like, why would I go to my enemy to help put together a contract for black folks? You know what I'm saying? So
there was nothing said like before, like what the plan was.
Yeah, there was no bumper. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're at an interesting point anyway, where you're looking for basically an oppressor to be a savior at the same time. Which in both cases, that's the situation in asking either party anyway. And you will never be treated with respect under those circumstances. And that's why I just feel like it's well received that you had the courage, and I know what you were trying to do. But I always just see when people meet with this person, I'm just like, man, at the end of the day, we know people don't keep contracts. But the good part about it is now now you have it to where you can actually press him because it's been publicized.
Mm-hmm.
And
he said that.
And that
He did.
He said that. Yeah.
That's why like it's good, but it's confusing when it's this close to an election. What are you doing?
So
yeah.
Are you promoting him and telling everybody we should vote for him?
Right.
Or are you just talking to are you just talking to the person who would listen?
Or is he conceding already? Is he saying we already know Trump gonna win, so we might as well start working on what we want from him now?
Right.
You know, because he's already gone on record and said, fucking with the Democrats, what have y'all really gotten from them motherfuckers? Your schools are shitty, your crime rates are up, you got more black incarceration than any other fucking president. What do you got to lose? Like,
Yeah.
And, you know, it sounds disrespectful at first. Like, it just sounds like, this motherfucker. But
He just
like,
has the audacity
4 years
to say
later,
this.
you kind of thinking like, man, this nigga got a point now. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and then you kind of got to think like, okay, let's look at black people. What really, how have we really suffered under Trump?
No different than we suffered with everybody else.
I feel the same.
So I mean that's the thing. Like
Ain't nothing changed for me.
White supremacists have become.
Not a damn
they've
thing.
been more outwardly proud.
They've been more outwardly
yeah.
practiced.
That too.
Yes.
That too. But shit, when did that ever scare black people?
Right.
We ain't worried about them motherfuckers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to Brooke, she hit me up. She was like, I guess she seen the Charlemagne video about old boy that started the little white gang, the little preppy.
Proud Boys?
The Proud Boys.
Yeah.
She was like, it's a white supremacist gang.
Really?
And I'm like, babe, them motherfuckers ain't coming to no Black Lives Matter marches. They know better than that shit.
Well, they would go to a Black Lives Matter march, but they wouldn't go to Watts.
But here's the thing. They not going to go outnumbered. They're going to go with a mob of Trump supporters.
Exactly.
You did say that.
Just like I said, like they know better. Like now, don't get me wrong. If me, Cliff, Jaleel, and John, and a couple of other homies, like if we all decide to go to a fucking a Trump rally and talk shit, yeah, the Proud Boys gonna be on our ass, and deservedly so.
Right.
We should know better than to go there talking that stupid ass shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm saying, like black people, the last thing we worried about is racist motherfuckers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We worried about a motherfucker around the corner coming by and killing us. You know what I'm saying? We not thinking about racist people because more often than not, like we got our phones out just like they got their phones. So when we catch them doing racist shit, they going right on camera.
Yeah.
Or if a motherfucker don't feel like wasting their time, he just gonna knock the shit out of you.
Right, everybody saying.
You know? So
Shit.
I mean, we not really tripping off of that. We really just tripping off of how can we change our economic situation? How can we change the political situation as far as criminal reform and prison reform and all of this other shit? And how can we police the motherfucking police better?
Right.
Yes.
I mean, being this close to an election anyway, do y'all see Trump winning?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Do y'all
I
think
told
Biden's
you that
still
last
has a
year,
chance?
nigga.
I would not be surprised.
At all.
I would not be surprised.
It's like you just gotta embrace.
They say
yourself.
Biden is leading though in the votes so far.
I saw Hillary was leading too.
She
It's
was.
2020. Ain't no way that shit about to
was.
happen. Like all this shit we've been going through.
I
Y'all think that
Trump
At
is
the end
actually
of this,
funny to
Trump's
watch.
not
man.
gonna
Like,
win.
he's
Like-
probably the most entertaining president I've ever seen.
like I said
It's hilarious.
he's definitely
if Trump doesn't win, like I say, prepare yourselves for crazy and chaos.
Yeah.
Because these people are not gonna be happy
No.
if he doesn't. But I really see him winning. You know what I mean? Not like I say, no matter who wins or who loses, I feel like it's gonna be chaos
Right.
to an extent.
Definitely.
But I think the
It's gonna be
chaos
worse
would be
if he don't.
here on 10
If he don't,
if Trump lose.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And I
gonna
don't
be like
think.
Jumanji.
This year has been like Jumanji.
Like, it's gonna be like
Okay.
Jumanji.
Jumanji started in
Yeah.
March.
This year has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And this will be the cherry on top.
Right, it's
Man.
gonna be the
Fucking
last
lose.
part of Jumanji.
And, you know, I was actually talking to one of my really good friends just about, you know, the election and all that. And she was kind of like, I low-key wouldn't mind Trump winning again because at least we know exactly what to expect.
Yeah.
With Biden, you know,
Right.
he has all these, like Ice Cube said, campaign promises, but what is he really going to be offering?
Right.
And then what kind of chaos are we going to be dealing with him?
And it honestly and truthfully, it's not like he's gonna be able to, like he's gonna present too much. It's just gonna be what the House and Senate really is putting through, and who's gonna have the power, and where his say so is gonna go on the last vote of it.
Right.
That's why I say, like, people get lost in the sauce of just thinking when this one person got that much power. But this is why I say when I like vote, I feel like on this you're either voting Republican or Democrat for this race. That's what people don't realize. But the Republican Party has a stronger thing right now. A stronger thing going right now.
They got a majority of the House. I mean, not majority of that, but they got majority of Congress.
Yeah.
But when I hear people say that they're Trump supporters, I know that you are supporting racism and bigotry and other things. That's what gets me when people say Trump 2020, because you're not saying it because you think he has the best plan. You're saying it because you like the bullshit that he kicking up and starting.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Like
you're
the
for the
racist
wall.
shit. Yeah.
You're for
Yeah.
kicking out majority of the motherfuckers who stimulate our economy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You and you're for him
Nothing to do with
going across the world and starting a whole bunch of shit and kicking up dust, and we getting threats made on us every other fucking day, and pretty soon we're gonna be on DEFCON fucking 3 because he wanna, say a bunch of wild shit.
And just supporting ignorance. I mean,
Right.
and just his lack of tact. Like,
Yeah.
that is something that really like gets under
yeah,
my
I
skin.
mean-
He's tactless. He speaks just like a business person.
Yeah.
Don't mind if you hurt
when you
your
see him up
feelings.
there,
Listen.
He don't
he
give a
speaks.
fuck.
He doesn't care. He doesn't. He can care less about
He's
tact.
all-
He's all about
It's
the numbers.
horrible.
Every time you see him, he always talking about numbers.
It's
They're
horrible.
way down. They're up 30%. He talks just like a business person. Like, I don't know how many of y'all have been around business people, but they talk just
He
like he
does.
does.
Yeah.
You know?
He does.
So, I mean, we can't sit up and be mad about him not being a true politician because he's not a politician.
Right.
He's not.
So that's just really what it is. And Black folk, I think, shit, if Trump do get reelected, nigga, we just got 4 more years of this motherfucker.
Right.
What's going on too? Like you say, 4 more years of this motherfucker, and 4 more years of these racist white people taking it up to the next level. I want to ask y'all, like, let's get to a personal
It's kind of like a
experience thing.
lose-lose. Yeah.
Yeah, but let me ask y'all a personal experience question here. What was the most recent Karen or Kevin situation y'all had? Have y'all had to deal with it? Have you had to deal with a Karen on the job, Brother Tor?
Not me.
I
I kind of have.
can't say that I have. I had a couple coworkers admit that they voted for Trump. I kind of
I
looked
have
at
a
them
coworker
weird,
that
but
likes Trump.
they
She's
didn't.
Asian.
They stood on it. They stood on it. It was like,
Yeah.
I voted for Trump. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want all these illegal people coming over here. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's how you feel. I mean, that's.
I have a coworker and she's Asian and she likes Trump because he's a businessman. That's what she told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shit, and that go for black
Just straight
people.
like
If you a
that.
business person, shit, you should be looking forward to Trump getting reelected because that's who he really helping is
Right.
people that's thriving with business.
With different tax brackets, that's why I say the taxes that Joe Biden is talking about implementing is really gonna hurt the upper class. Like anybody making over 100,000 or something like that.
My
I
biggest
don't feel
knock
that
on
bad
Trump
for them.
was this coronavirus shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was what really did it for me. I'm like, damn, nigga, like the way you talk about this shit is so cavalier. Like it ain't 250,000 people died from this shit.
Right. Yeah.
And the way you speak on it, and then you getting it yourself, and then you just coming out and you still like
Like, oh, I'm
acting
good.
Like it
it's
was
just
not
a
that
big
bad.
situation.
Y'all'll be alright.
It's
That's
gonna
basically what he
go
was saying.
away.
Like, oh, y'all gonna be alright.
It's gonna go away, and the people are gonna be safe. You don't need Sleepy Joe shutting down the country.
You've
And
been
it's like,
He been in the mirror.
saying,
He been in the mirror
saying.
all day. Like,
That nigga listening to CNN like a motherfucker. He hit that.
Hey, but it's just, being a nigga that actually survived the shit and experiencing how serious it is fucked up to have to watch a nigga sit up here and act like this shit is just something.
Right, yeah. I'd be hot.
And
you actually had it.
It's hundreds of thousands of families right now that are much more irate than I am because they had a loved one that they lost to this shit.
Right.
Facts.
So, just traumatized.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing. Like his business mind, he's like, well, fuck, we can't keep the country shut down forever. Yeah. We got to get that money back moving,
Outside of just the corona, man, people going to the hospital, they can't have none of their family members there with them for anything. They might not even have corona, my nigga.
Facts.
Like, they there for something totally different. A car wreck, nigga. You can't even go in there to see your people now.
Yep.
Anything. Yep. Like, this is very, very odd time.
Yeah.
I mean, and then even further than that, these kids, like, bro, a year to a child be a long time. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that, but when we was young, like,
it felt like forever.
Yeah, like you did a lot of growing in a year. You know what I'm saying?
We
at
the end young. We at the end of October, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
These kids ain't been to school since.
Right, I'm worried about their education. Like, how they gonna deal with them moving forward?
How they gonna deal socially?
Yeah,
like a lot of these people like they really are getting into where social media is the real world.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that even with the older folks too. It's like the old people and the young people,
everybody
are really like on that same level with thinking that the internet is the real world. I think the people in between, we still have that balance and
right.
That's some bullshit.
You know the difference.
Yeah, but the old people and the old people who just had to jump on and start watching church and everything, they're like, oh
this
no, baby. I done seen where Early Mae Jean daughter posted on there the other day. And
this is where it's at. This is where it's at. They are entertained. Okay.
Yeah, man. You seen Stanley Earl on there acting up the other day. His boy on there showing his little wee and everything.
And I just want to say, coming from the mental health field, seeing the impact of.
Go ahead, baby. Tell me what you do.
I'm a therapist.
Okay.
I work with children
Healing
and families.
Healing the world.
I love this guy. Yes. He really does celebrate me. But anyway. But even just seeing the impact of COVID on the families I work with and just hearing like the different stories, like there's been an increase in DCFS reports because kids are at home with their abusers. Whether that's sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional, verbal abuse. I was just telling Tori the other day that I read a story about a little girl. I think she was in like second grade. She was in school and the teacher said that the kids could go and take a break. Well, she just happened to leave her camera on and her male cousin walks in the room ready to give her oral sex. Yeah. Second grade.
I read that.
Wow.
Older male cousin at that. Not saying that it's okay if it was whatever age, but and the
like
teacher ended up witnessing this and had to make a report.
She was 7.
If she was at school, she would be able
nobody
to
would
escape
know.
all of that.
Nobody would even.
But
nobody would even know.
Right.
Because that's what she go home to.
That's what she go home to, right? So it has its pros, but it definitely has a lot of cons.
Yeah. I know someone. He's a therapist. It's funny. I was talking to him today because I was trying to invite him to hang out on Saturday, and he was like he had to work at 12, and I said, who are you giving advice to at 12 o'clock at night? And he said it's a guy that's on suicide watch or whatever. So he has to work that late, like Tuesday through Sunday. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
It's
it's really impacted.
Never even thought about that. You know?
It's really impacted, people and their mental health.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, and that's an even bigger thing. Like I seen something with Mark Lamont Hill today. About the young man that got killed in Philly. By the police.
Yeah.
And there was some things that I was agreeing with, and then there was some things that I didn't quite agree with. And it just, mental health is a big thing, and it was reported that, this young man had prior history of mental health issues and everything, and whether or not it was deserved that he had to die. With the police. Now I understand if the police are called there, obviously this man is a threat. Like people are worried. And that's why the police are called. Now, granted, yeah, I would agree that there needs to be a little bit more effort as far as law enforcement with de-escalation and non-escalation and shit. But that's where I feel like therapists and mental health experts come into play too.
Yeah.
There needs to be a joint effort with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because as a police officer, shit, my job is to go home to my family too.
But now you put the police officer in the position to have to protect somebody.
That's true.
You know, you putting.
But here's where I say, you know, given that the police are already there, it don't mean like even if you're a crazy person or not, you're met with opposition. This is the motherfucker that lawfully cannot walk away. You know what I'm saying? Your neighbors can go back in the house when they see you walking down the street with a knife. The police, they have to go there and they can't move. So it's only so much time you get to de-escalate a situation before you have to before you have to go into other methods.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people say, oh, well, he got pepper spray, he got a knife, oh, he got a taser. And I'm like, well, shit. Have you ever used pepper spray on somebody with a knife? Have you ever used a taser on somebody with a knife? I mean, the shit doesn't always, like, actions happen in real time. And sometimes shit doesn't always work as well as you would like it to.
Right.
I've seen plenty of people tase before. If me wearing this hoodie, that taser probably not going to do nothing to me with this hoodie on.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of people realize that. You know what I'm saying? If you pepper spray somebody, what if he on PCP? What if that pepper spray don't even affect him? Shit, a 9mm handgun, if you shoot a motherfucker 8 times, he probably still going to be walking towards you. Who knows? That 9th one might put him down. You shoot him one more time, that 10th one might be too many. Now it's a big, he shouldn't have did that to him.
That's what I was about to say, though, like, because they unloaded on old boy. Like, they hit him with at least 10, 15 shots.
Right.
But literally right after this, just today I seen the white guy. Did y'all see the one where the white guy was doing the same thing, chasing the female cop around the car?
Yeah.
And she shot him one time.
That's another thing I saw, yeah.
Yeah, she only shot him one time.
But where was that shot put, though?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
But
a lot of people don't realize when you at the range and you focusing on your target, it's a lot different when when the threat is walking towards you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got nerves, your adrenaline is pumping, so it's like I said, like most cops are taught to shoot center mass.
Center mass, yeah.
And the only reason you're taught to shoot center mass is because you're responsible for that firearm. Nigga, if a round goes through Mr. Johnson's window and kills that old lady up in there, guess who's responsible?
Yeah, you.
So you can say, oh, just shoot the knife out his hand. Well, is your aim that good, man?
Right.
Is your aim that good, sir? We'll just shoot him in the head. Well, I wasn't trained to shoot in the head unless I really have to. And a headshot is more narrow than a center mass shot. So it's like, it's a whole lot of shit that go, like, I've seen it all the time where you got pastors and teachers and housewives that go in to do police training and they put them in those scenarios and they end up shooting the motherfucker more times than the police do. So like I said, I get it. Like there is sometimes where we see police doing too much. Then there's times where I watch them and I'll be like, okay, well, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's sometimes where I feel like maybe a taser could work on that guy. And when you taser him, somebody need to be running in trying to get the knife out of his hand. It's a 5-second ride. Somebody need to be swooping in trying to get the guy on the ground instead of just tasing him. And then when the charge run out, he getting back up, going at you with the knife again. It's like,
I still can't see how I just cannot see how somebody would shoot that many times at somebody with a knife, bro. Like,
how many times would you shoot?
I mean, he wasn't coming towards.
But how many times would you shoot?
I'm gonna just shoot that nigga once, twice. Nigga, like,
okay.
boom, nigga.
And if he's still walking?
I just feel like
I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep moving away from him.
If a nigga came through here right now and stabbed you.
If a nigga came in my house, I'm gonna hold the clip. I'm in my house. I'm not patrolling nothing. Listen, I'm gonna have animosity to a dude in my house. I was looking at this shit the other day, nigga. We was riding. Listen, I was bringing Jazz back from the airport, man. We saw the cops or whatever. Seen the cops lining up on the street.
Yeah.
And
He was
this dude
hot.
looked so mad.
Cliff was mad.
This cop looked so upset for whatever they was going to do. He just looked angry.
Yeah.
He was furious.
They was in the
and
trunk.
I'm like,
They got them guns. They was like,
bro, whoever that is
like-
did not do nothing to you to be that angry.
Right.
You don't know.
they
though.
was.
Tori,
See,
you
and
don't
not
know
that
that
type of
man
energy, though.
publicly. Like you don't know that man personally.
It was-
like, and I understand if he did hurt somebody, he did kill somebody. What if he just shot a 2-year-old baby? I understand all of that. But this is your profession.
Why you supposed
like,
to
people
serve and
pay
protect?
You
know what?
To
You supposed
keep
to
it
serve and
professional.
protect.
And that's why I
like,
say-
not get heated.
And you know what? And to both of y'all's point, that's why I say mental health experts. That's where they become more pivotal, because it needs to be more of a joint effort for the people in the community and for the people that police the community.
Yeah.
Because I think law enforcement and firefighters and military, they need to have a certain amount of resources that's going towards them to help them unpack all of that shit
100%.
that they got to deal with on a daily basis.
100%.
Yes,
Because it, like she said, it, like when people go home, shit, it's not always a happy place.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes being at school or being at work is a more happier place than that home environment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I think mental health is serious on all fronts. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're a teacher, whether you're a chef, whether you're a police officer, whether you're a fireman, whatever you do, your mental health is important. And that's why I feel like when they say they talking about defunding the police and putting social workers out there, I'm like, all right, well, how trained are these motherfuckers? Because they're going to have to experience some shit. There's going to be a whole lot of shit they're going to be walking up on. And they're going to be unarmed. So it's going to be like, yeah, you're going to be a mental health expert. Well, your de-escalation skills better be on point, because if a nigga walking up on you, guess what?
Yeah.
They're going to be calling a fire and ambulance for a few motherfuckers on the ground. Not just the motherfucker they coming to shoot.
Right.
So that's why I say, like, it get kind of tricky with that, you know, excessive force and deadly force shit, because, you know, what's deemed excessive might be deemed necessary to somebody else.
It just
I-
seemed like
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I feel like, babe, that you are coming from a different like perspective, because you have been in the position of law enforcement and you've seen things like you said. But
Snitch. I'm just
right.
I'm bullshit.
I mean,
But-
his family is in law
Yeah.
enforcement too, so you should
Yeah.
be more understanding of this.
Yeah, I understand. Like I said, I hear it, but
I get what you're saying, but I'm like,
But
No,
on a
they not- my
human,
brothers ain't like that. They
human
really got
level,
them.
if we have to go back to being human, and I know he's probably gonna be like, well, babe, you know, you a therapist, you're supposed to say that, but no, like I feel like as a people, and I know this is probably you know wishing on a star, but
on with the
we
kumbaya.
do have to be more compassionate with each other.
Yeah.
And if you do get a call and you hear that a man is out here with a knife or whatever. Start asking certain questions to assess, well, does this man possibly have schizophrenia?
yeah.
Or some other type of mental health
Usually-
issues, or is
and
he
you-
really out here trying to murder somebody?
And usually you'll know off bat if you got a 5150.
You do.
Yeah.
You
You'll know.
do. You can see
know.
it. And it's like, what kind of training are these police
Right.
officers getting when it comes to people who have mental health?
And that's what I was
It-
gonna say. Sorry.
go ahead, no.
Like, just the simple fact of everything that's been going on for this year, you would think
Yeah.
that they will handle situations differently. Like, why are black men still
Yeah.
getting killed and getting
Yeah.
shot this many times?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it's not rocket
And
science.
I said
like,
this.
at least they should have training or something. This been going on.
Something,
Everybody
yeah.
knows what's going on.
I said this to somebody
So they
at
need
my
to
old
change it.
job. I said, black people, and it's an unpopular, and like everybody knows, I'm the unpopular opinion spokesperson. Like I'm the poster child for an unpopular opinion, right? I said, black people really don't hate the police.
Where you get that from?
Right.
So
I'm
wait,
like,
hold on.
I think about it.
I'm listening. I'm trying to hear where he
They
going
don't
with this.
fit.
Black people don't. I don't think black people hate the police. I feel like black people call the police more than any other ethnic group in this country.
Shit.
Black people really just hate the inconsistency distributed amongst law enforcement. when we getting pulled over in Culver City and Torrance and Palos Verde, we expect you to do them white boys the same way you do us. Pull everybody out the motherfucking car and put their ass on that hot ass hood and throw us on the ground and give us 11 warning shots in our back. Do the same thing to them. Like, we want equity amongst all law enforcement. When you treating people how you treat everybody like how you treat us. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really the big problem. Like,
But doesn't that lead to hate?
That shit is whack. Whether you
like
black or white.
if we feel like we're not being treated fairly by the police, how can you say black people don't hate the police?
I said they don't hate. I said they hate the like every time you
No.
they hate the inconsistency.
I hear what he's saying.
They hit the inconsistency that's not being spread amongst everybody else.
Okay.
But even what you're saying, like, oh, so I'm supposed to be cool because I'm getting beat up and a white woman is getting beat up. I'm gonna feel better. That's what it sounds like.
That's how you're interpreting it.
But that's what it sounds like.
But that's how you're interpreting it.
If all we want is for everybody to be on the same page, they treat everybody like shit. That's not what I want.
Right.
Well, are they treating black people like shit, or are they just treating everybody like a suspect? You get what I'm saying?
You said that wrong, but I heard you.
If I'm taking an Asian person or a Hispanic person or a white person and throwing them on the ground and treating them like a suspect, and then there is no bias amongst black people. It's not like saying, "Oh, I'm just pulling him out and throwing him on the ground because he's black."
No, because
you took throwing him on the ground because you treat him
that's
like
what
a
you're
suspect.
supposed to do.
But not all suspects are treated the same.
Right. That's what's supposed to happen.
Say.
So they're supposed to get thrown on the ground.
And that's what you just said. The inconsistency.
If you broke the exactly like what's the white boy that killed all them people in
so you're saying if I'm a suspect, I get thrown on the ground.
Kyle Rittenhouse, fucking
I know what you're talking about.
The boy
dude that
in
shot the
North
people at the
Carolina.
That white boy.
I can't think of his name.
That white boy.
And they took him to go get. They took him to go get
blonde hair. Yeah, the white guy with
They
the
put the
blonde
vest
hair.
on him. They put the vest on him and then took him to
get Burger King.
Burger King or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
No.
Yeah.
okay, but you saying if a black person had did that, he'd have been gunned down right then and there.
Right.
Which is what I'm saying. I'm saying like black people are more affected by the lack of consistency amongst every fucking ethnic group in this country.
This is why I say I think they hate. I feel like we hate the police because we know that's not required to keep law.
What you mean?
To treat people, you don't have to treat people like this to keep law.
Exactly.
Like,
What do you mean treat people like this?
Suspects don't have to be thrown on the ground because
you don't
they're
like.
suspects.
You don't have to treat all of the way black people get treated by the police. We would act the same way other people act if the police, if we were treated like how the police treat other people.
Yeah, the right way.
You see what I'm saying?
So you saying that the way black people would act would be based on how police treat other ethnic groups?
I didn't say that.
I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
I'm saying the police do not have to treat black people differently. You said black people are upset. Black people hate the police because of the inconsistencies, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying no. Black people hate the police because they treat us a certain way. It's not because of the inconsistency.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying, Tori.
I'm saying,
but no,
the way you treat black people, treat everybody else like that.
But that's what I'm
that's
saying.
not a good thing.
You just rewording it different though.
No, I'm not trying to reword it differently because I'm saying that's not the answer to me. For them to treat everybody the same way. I'm saying treat black people like you treat everybody else. Don't treat everybody like you treat black people. I don't want the police to treat everybody like they treat black people. Because the police is fucked up the way they treat black people.
Okay, but they treat,
and it's intentional.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though, Cliff. That's only you're coming from a biased standpoint. I'm saying I've seen white people get treated a certain way. I've seen white people get thrown to the ground. But what I'm saying is I've seen it happen more amongst black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's not like it doesn't happen to Asian people or it doesn't happen to Hispanic people or people of other different cultures. I'm just saying when you seeing it on camera and shit, it's more like it's like a bias. Like, damn, they just really out to get us like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think black people have the most problem because it's like, well, shit, why y'all only doing us like this? Like, why is this treatment exclusive to just us? Yeah. Like, why can't everybody else get this treatment?
I hear you.
You You know what I'm saying?
That's
now
where
y'all
the
saying
that's where the frustration
nobody
comes
should
from.
get y'all saying nobody should get this kind of treatment. But I'm like, well, if this motherfucker over here just killed 2 of my sisters, nah, nigga, I think it's fair game. Treat him exactly how you treat everybody else. Fuck that.
I hear you.
This nigga shouldn't get no fucking soda on his way to jail. Like, hell no. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, and it's like,
was extreme.
and trust me, I'm just like, I guess I'm just one of them people. I'm like, I don't think that you should baby a motherfucker that just killed 9 people. Like, no,
Right.
I don't agree with that. Like, I feel like you should prosecute motherfuckers deservedly. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And motherfuckers should get whatever. It's a lot of people that feel like we don't need police. It's a lot of people that feel like we don't need prisons. But I'm just like,
we
nigga, I don't want to
definitely
live in a
need
world
it.
with none of that.
Right, we definitely need it.
So
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
you know, it's a lot of shit. Like I got the unpopular opinion. Like it's a lot of people not gonna agree with, but I'm just like, nigga, if I could break down to you how I really be thinking when I'm thinking about shit like this, it's like you gonna be like, okay, I see you. I may not agree with you, but I see
Right.
where you're coming from.
Yeah, I
because
definitely see where you're coming from.
it's a fucked up world we live in. It's evil out here.
Yeah, it's some evil motherfuckers.
It's evil
That's
on
what I say.
all fronts.
No, I don't believe that there should not be jail because, like I say, I've been there, and
A
I've
lot of
been
people that
there.
be in there.
I've been there.
You
And it's-
like,
and
oh
it's
yeah,
some
you belong
niggas you
here.
see back, you be like, boy, this is home. Like you don't belong nowhere.
Don't go
Yeah.
nowhere.
Like you don't belong to be back. You don't deserve to be back out there. You are fucked
Yeah.
up. You need that. Like help can't help you. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. Like
yeah.
I you know, and when I talk to people that are for like prison abolishment and police abolishment, I try and hear them out. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where
I
these
hear where
folks
they're
gonna
coming
go?
from. And they think that, you know, mental health, everything could just be fixed with, you know, more funding towards mental health. And I'm just like, listen,
Think about
this
them scary
mental health
movies.
shit is growing at such a rapid pace. I don't think we're gonna have enough people to even
See
tend
these
to these
motherfuckers.
people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and not to mention all the cheap ass fucking generic drugs that's out here, like
Yeah.
all this new dope
be a
that's
big
turning
ass
people into these crazy
horror
motherfuckers.
movie.
It's like,
Yeah.
yo, what like
That's gonna be a movie. One
y'all
day,
talking
too.
about
Yeah,
defund the
dude.
police?
That's gonna be a movie.
And I hear you on the defund the police part, but where exactly is all this fucking money going? Because if it ain't going into some shit that can help get these crazy motherfuckers off the street, where is it really
It
going?
should. Like I say, I feel like we could defund the police and put some more shit into housing the homeless, and I think that would stop a lot of crime because poverty.
like that.
A lot of crime
I like
comes with poverty.
And that's where that's a whole nother conversation. Like,
Yeah.
Because with free housing comes rules, and niggas that's been living on the street
Ain't
don't fuck
following
with
the
rules, so they will gladly be like, "Yeah, I don't see myself staying up in here, man. I got to be in at a certain time."
But
I
not
gotta
all
go.
of
They
them
gonna
would be
burn
like
that bitch
But
that.
not all like.
Not-
Not all of them, but not enough
Not all
of
of them
them.
would be like
They
that.
gonna burn that bitch
But
down.
like I said, is it not worth it to save? Is it not worth it to save the few by helping the many? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's worth
I'm
it to
with you.
save a few. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And trying to help many
But
and failing at that, but some got saved.
the thing is, we live in California, and this is a very unique state.
With very
Because
unique problems.
You can come here and be a career criminal.
You can go anywhere and be a career criminal.
No,
dog.
but in California, you can literally go to jail 3 times in one day. Especially here in LA County. You can go to jail 3. If I can go to jail.
I don't think they can book
I
you
can
that
steal
fast.
a car at
Nigga,
10
my
o'clock.
processing.
Hold on, nigga. It is 2020, COVID-19, Los Angeles County.
Oh.
I can go steal a car at 10 in the morning, go to jail, be booked, be back out on the street at 1:30, steal another car at 2 o'clock, go back to jail, get booked, get released at 7:30, and be back out and steal in another car.
I don't know. That's a
I've
little
heard
bit
of stories,
extreme,
man.
brother. I think you could do it twice, maybe. But
No, bro. No.
3 times.
Do you not realize that if you're not a violent offender, you're going to get cited and released?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. I think that process take a lot longer. I've been through that process. That shit, they be taking their sweet time trying to take your time.
Now
that
with
motherfucker.
COVID-19.
And I was about to say that you could be right on the
Yeah.
circumstances.
Now with
of what's going on
COVID-19,
with
this
COVID.
shit has changed the game.
Yeah.
And then it's a proposition, and I don't know which one it is, but they trying to get rid of bail.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
They trying to get rid of bail. I don't know which prop it is, but
So what's gonna happen?
They just let you go.
so basically, for certain misdemeanors and even certain felonies, you just gonna get a ticket.
Man, I wish.
That's not gonna work with domestic violence and all this crazy shit. That is not gonna work.
That's why
I
I
need
say
my restraining order.
California is a crazy place to be right now if you're a criminal.
He ain't gonna do nothing but go right back. No, I'm good. Book his ass.
I would have been.
See, there
Give
we
me
go.
a few days
You got more money for your
figure out where I'm
money.
gonna go, where he can find
So you gonna be
me.
fucking with the
You
police.
let him right back out, he coming right
See,
back.
she fucked with the police for about 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't enough time for me to get the hell on. You gonna let him right back out?
What else we got, man? We got anything else? We
gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, man. I want to thank y'all ladies for coming and dropping gems with us tonight. You know what I'm saying?
I learned so much tonight. Okay.
I'm telling you, that's why y'all
As
need
long
to
as
go.
we learn something
Yes.
and we hear each other out, I think that's the ultimate goal of this here platform.
That's what it is.
And I enjoy being a part of this thing.
All
And
right.
that's why I say, man, y'all need to go. If y'all hearing something, y'all also need to go to the link in our bio, the website where our merchandise is at. We got notebooks on sale.
Got notebooks.
So you can go ahead and write down what you hearing in the show. You
Write
know
that
what I'm saying?
thing
I'm gonna
down.
drop the link
Take
down
notes.
below. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hit that, tap that. It's in the description. Y'all go ahead and tell everybody where to follow you at. And what
You
got?
already know where to follow me. It's T Rich. That's it's_T with 2 E's _Rich. That's on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can follow me at Madam Baldy, MADAMEBALDY. Thank you.
You know, I'm gonna try something a little different. I don't care about you guys following me. I want you to follow my clothing site, Pretty Thuggish Boutique, okay? And the
Boutique.
website is prettythuggish.com, okay?
I'm definitely going to be looking at that.
Y'all get that shit, man.
And y'all know it's the captain of the ship. I want to thank y'all, the grip, for coming through and listening to us talk this bullshit. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at RealCliff225. Make sure you ain't with no motherfucking jive. Make sure you also follow Cliff Notes Radio, like, share, and subscribe. Go to that YouTube channel. Go to our merchandise store. Shop
Get
with
that
us.
notebook.
Tell us that you love us. You know what I'm saying? Tell your lover about us. Tell your side nigga, your side bitch, everybody, man.
They still got side niggas?
They be doing that shit places.
Yeah, hell
But
yeah.
yeah, y'all, we out this motherfucker.
Yep.